It's been 4 weeks since you called, and I've been waiting here for you all along. I've been waiting here for you all along. Where you been? Where did you go? I wonder if you found what you're looking for. Wonder if you found what you're looking for.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, then welcome. I'm your World of Free, and on this channel I love sharing my Sims 4 build creations that I make into different types of speed builds. If this is something you like to watch, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also click that notification bell so you will get notified whenever I post new content. Now, as for today's speed build, I'm back with another family home. And with a kind of a big change. It is not blue. I always love making blue houses. It's the blue tone on the cats and dogs, or on the cats and dogs boot panels are my total favorite. But for today I really tried very hard to not to use any of those color tones. I did still use the cat and dogs panels, of course, because I just apparently love them too much. But I tried to keep it only to browns and whites. I also tried to switch up doors and windows for a change. I often find myself using the cats and dogs or the season windows and doors, since again those are my kind of favorite. So if you ever are wondering about packs, cats and dogs and seasons are my absolute favorite for both building and gameplay. So those might be a good idea if you don't have them yet, because I apparently include them in almost every build. But I try to cool it a bit on the windows and doors at least. And the color scheme, of course. But for this build, in kind of a long time, I haven't used those Get Famous front doors and windows, or at least I'm pretty sure those were, yeah, Get Famous? Yes, I think so. They're kind of this retro style, I don't know. And never really used or even tried using them for a normal family house. I can't even remember if I've ever used them. I kind of maybe have done it on the rebuilding Mirage Park in one of the tiny houses, maybe. I really don't know. But yeah, I kind of decided to use those for a change, and I actually chose to use the modern looking sliding door for I'm Living as the back door actually. So altogether it looked really nice, in my opinion, and of course it is something quite different from what I usually would use. And I kind of fell in love with the choice. I might need to use this combo in some more homey builds or family home builds, because I do kind of like them for the more suburban style homes as well. Another thing I tried to begin with, or actually I might have done that off camera. I actually tried to use the smallest windows from Strangerville, so not the tall ones that I used in my colonial build, but the one that are for the shortest height walls. Those windows I tried as well, and they did actually work quite well as well, because I did try those first before the Get Famous ones, but those only come in two sizes, so the 1 square and the 2 square, and the Get Famous one comes in, or you have 4 types, one square, one square, 1 2 square, and 2 different 3 square windows. And when I remembered that, then that made a lot more sense in this build, because I had some sides where I needed to be 3 sides or 3 squares windows, because that would look better than just 3 simple ones, since there are always, or almost always, is a kind of a gap between them, and I didn't want to have the gap, and the Strangerville ones did come with quite a big gap, so yeah, I think the Get Famous one did fit a lot better. Now as for the inside, I also tried to go a bit out of my comfort zone. That is really hard sometimes, so I'm not sure if I succeeded or not, but I did fall in love, quite much in love with the interior. And where it is based on, or what I started off with, is kind of the 3 seats parenthood couch. I always use it in the blue or the steel blue color, but I never really tried, or at least I can't remember that I've ever used it in yellow. But I really like the yellow switch as well, so I wanted to try and use it in this build. So it kind of got quite colorful compared to what I usually would do at the inside of this build. But it's still kind of subtle, so it's not too overpowering, I think. I didn't go completely wild with only colors and all that, so I kept most of it kind of in style with that one couch. And I do really love it. It feels quite summery, to be fair. So I should definitely try and use this couch a bit more often, or let it inspire me a bit more often in the future. Also, I never really vary too much when it comes to couches in The Sims 4. Mostly because there are just a few that I really like. So discovering a new swatch that I want to use more often is always really fun and creates a lot of new inspirations as well. In other words, most of this interior in this house started from being inspired by that one couch. I kept almost every room very light colored with a lot of whites and light wood, and then the pop of color. I think the kids' bedrooms are probably the most colorful rooms in this build, but again, those are kids' rooms, and I always like them to be a bit more colorful. But it still fits in the same color scheme, so light and bright. Now, as for what kind of household I had in mind while building this, again, I don't really have the perfect background story or anything, but I only kind of knew who I wanted to have living here or thought might be living here. But I kind of got inspired by a household I played myself off camera for a very long time ago, I think. I don't really play that often besides building. And I tried a let's play once on this channel. Again, I kind of got bored of that too, because I'm not really good at the playing part. But that household kind of inspired me for the amount of people or Sims that would live in this house. So what I remember is that I tried with this household to have a baby, and instead I got 3 triplets, 2 boys and 1 girl. And that of course made me wait a while before I wanted to try for another baby, because it's already hard enough to keep 3 toddlers happy. So I think I waited until they were almost children before I started to try for another baby. Luckily the second try was only 1 kid, a girl. And I also had adopted a little corgi, or a little dog, with this family. So yeah, those are kind of the people that inspired me for this build as well. So in this build I made 1 bedroom for the parents with a bassinet in it in this case. Usually I would place or make a nursery or something, but I kind of wanted to have it in the parents' bedroom, because the parents' bedroom is on the first floor and all the kids' rooms are upstairs. This might not really make sense towards the toddler's room, but it was the biggest bedroom I could make. And it felt better to have it as a master bedroom. Now, of course, if you don't want to start out with triplet kids and a toddler and a baby, wait, what? So if you don't want to start out with triplets and a toddler, you could also start off with 1 baby and triplets. Or if you want to have a 5th kid instead, then you already have the bassinet ready to go. So besides the parent bedroom, I of course made 1 toddler room with a girl in mind, of course, so it might be a bit cutesy for a guy, I don't know. It's a toddler room, it shouldn't really bother much. You could change the color scheme just a tiny bit, like the curtains, swatches and the walls, and you're already good to go for a boy at least, or whatever. And then you have the 3 children rooms, which again I made 1 with a girl in mind, and then the other 2 I did have boys in mind. So 1 is a bit more pink, then the blue room is a bit more towards, I don't remember, dinosaurs at least, and red and blue. And then the 3rd room is more for a scientific kid or something that loves green and robots, I don't know, something like that. I also made this a kind of a 4th type of kids room. It's not a bedroom, it's actually a playroom. So here the kids could sit and play or just study as well. I did place the computer downstairs, just a 1 family PC. I didn't really feel to place any more of them. And then there is one little room left, which I didn't really want to use as a bedroom. And that kind of became the junk room or storage room for the parents, something like that, just a bit of everything. So it's kind of the place where they dumped their easel and the treadmill so they could do some sports and still paint, but it is kind of the more boring rooms in the house that I haven't really done anything to decorate it or anything. But this room could technically still be the 5th kid's bedroom if you do decide to have one more baby instead. Or you could turn it into the pet room of something, if you like having a one room where your pet can sleep and maybe even eat, but also have its toys or something. I did also make a decorative pet house outside, because I had that one dog in mind. It's not really usable, but I always find it quite cute to have a pet house or a dog house right in front of the house in the yard. But it is kind of useless. I think I'm pretty sure the roof that I used blocks the entrance anyway. I did forget to place any toys for the dog, unfortunately. So you might need to buy some so your little furry friend doesn't get bored and play with your shoes instead. But yeah, I did place the footballs, of course. They are in the kitchen. So those I did remember. I did not place anything for cats. So if you want to have cats, then you need to place the litter box somewhere in the house. I'm pretty sure you can find a spot for it. I also did not place any pet bed. I did kind of forget that one too. But also I do not really like pet beds as well. They are really clumsy to place and take most often a lot of space because either they are blocked or they need like a heap of space around them to, I don't know, function. And besides, if your Sims dog is anything like my real life dogs, they will probably have this fancy or comfy bed and still choose to sleep anywhere else or even right beside it instead of in it. So I'm pretty sure you won't miss the pet bed too much. But if you want one, then again, you should probably find a nice spot for it anywhere. Or either make the pet room like I mentioned, or you do place it in one of the kids' rooms, parents' rooms. I'm pretty sure you can have a room for it somewhere at least. Or especially if you choose to have a small dog with a small pet bed, then yeah, you should have room. So yeah, you could choose to have 1 or 2 dogs, depending on if you want to have 4 or 5 children, I think, because it's 2 parents, 4 kids right now, that's 6. So you have 2 spots empty. You could do 1 dog, 2 dogs, 1 dog and a baby, whatever you want. I don't know. I would say I have enough trouble with all these kids at once, but that's kind of me who doesn't have any experience with playing The Sims, only building in it, but yeah. Now, I kind of do think that's all I can have to say about this build. I don't really have anything more to say, so if you do want to download this build, you can find it under my username, YoungWildandFree on the gallery, or under the hashtag YoungWildandFree. And always remember to have move objects on before any of my before placing any of my builds. Wow, I can't talk apparently. Just to be sure that nothing gets removed. If you for some reason want to re-upload any of my builds, then you are technically allowed to, but just don't call it your own. And please credit me by putting my name as a hashtag. That way I can actually find it back too and see that you have re-uploaded it and what you have done with the place. Plus I'm always curious to see what you actually have done to the place anyway. So yeah, please do tag me if you really feel the need to re-upload anything. I do hope you still like this build and enjoy this video. If you did, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more of my creations, you can always subscribe to this channel or follow me on Twitter and Instagram. For now, thank you so much for watching and I hope I see you next time. Bye bye!
Over the clouds
the songs above my head, they are nearly faded. Every day I'm unafraid to be the last who made it.
When I sound the drums of war, unable to admit you were there to fill my home, to gain a sense of fairness.
Turn to stone. When it comes to love, we're not alone. Sometimes I miss my voice in the depth of hunger. There's a way to calm the noise and scare the mystery monger. We are turned to stone, but when it comes to love, we're not alone. You can tell me now, do you ever wish I'd leave It wasn't love at first sight. It took me 40 days and 40 nights. You seemed determined to win me over. I was playing hard to get, hell-bent on putting up a fight. But sure enough, like a big old guy fell. But when you had won me, it turned me away. There goes the only one that I've ever loved. So much for forever. There goes the life that I've always dreamed of. So much for forever. You said you were leaving before you risked to be left. To you that meant good logic and made perfect sense. But like I was slow, molasses in my head, I stood there mumbling with nothing to say. There goes the only one that I've ever loved. So much for forever. There goes the life that I've always dreamed of. So much for forever. Broken and scorned like a burnished dove. So
were in high school when they met, and things got kinda awkward. With sparks in the air, he would stare at her in class, and she would try to act cool. But it was obvious, like, ooh, they would be together, ooh. And one day she said, write me a love song, 'cause I know you'll make it beautiful. And maybe I'll call you my sweetheart, and promise nobody can steal me away. Then I am yours, 'cause I want you, and I wanted you to know. He looked at her and then he smiled, picked up a pen and paper, and started writing. Probably something about her eyes and how they're always shining, or something cliche like, ooh, baby, I only want you. It's true. And then he said, I wrote you a love song, and I tried to make it beautiful. It's a song about your sweet, sweetheart, and how nobody can steal me away. Yeah, I am yours, 'cause I want you, and I wanted you to know. As he sang, she started to dance, grabbed his arm and took his hand. He held her close under the moonlight as they kept on dancing. And now they're singing their love song, and they sing it kind of beautiful, calling each other sweetheart.